Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening, Sir Amran. My name is Muhammad Harib bin Ahmad Misra, student ID AC 0108266. Alongside me is Azrin, Arif Hakimi, and Sarah Aliani. And today, we will having a group discussion about how to differentiate between the current reliefs and proposed changes, and also discussing on how proposed changes will affect the people and the country. Personal Tax Relief Year Assessment 2021. There are 22 types of personal tax relief, which is self and dependent, husband-wife alimony payments, ordinary child relief, education fees, unmarried child age above 18, education or medical insurance, children fee, SSPN scheme, breastfeeding equipment, PRS voluntary contribution, EPF, SOCSO scheme, lifestyle, sports equipment, life disabled individual, disabled child relief, another lifestyle, disabled spouse, medical expenses for parents, life insurance, self-owned spouse, basic sporting equipment, medical expense on serious diseases, and last but not least is domestic travel expenses. What are the changes in individual relief? The types of tax relief is medical expenses for taxpayer, spouse, and children on serious diseases and the cost of fertility treatment, including full medical check-up and prescribed vaccination expenses. As example, included 1,000 and another 1,000 in the current, and while in the proposed also includes 1,000 and 1,000. Proposed changes and its effective period. The restriction of MYR 1,000 ringgit under full medical check-up is expected to include expenses incurred for COVID-19 detection test by hospital or registered medical practitioner or COVID-19 self-detection test kit. Mental health related checkup or consultation services by a psychiatrist registered with the Malaysian Medical Council under the Mental Health Act 2001, or a clinical psychologist registered with the Malaysian Allied Health Professions Council under the Allied Health Professions Act 2016, or a counsellor registered with Board of Counsellors Malaysia under the Counsellors Act 1998. The second one is contribution to social security organization, or in the short terms is SOCSO. As example, in the current and the proposed also is 250 and 350 ringgit. Example is the limit of relief is increased to 350 ringgit and is expanded to include employees' contribution through the employment insurance system, contribution to employee provident fund (EPF), RM 4,000 in current and RM 4,000 also in proposed. The scope is expanded to include voluntary contributors including pensionable civil servants. Self-education fees includes fees for attending any upskilling and self-enhancement courses. Include 1,000 in current and 2,000 in proposed. The limit of relief for fees paid for attending any upskilling or self-enhancement courses recognized by the Department of Skills Development, Ministry of Human Resources is increased to 2,000 ringgit. This is for year assessment 2022 and year assessment 2023 only. Next one is domestic tourism expenses, such as accommodation and entrance fee. In the current, we have 1,000 ringgit, and in the proposed, we have 1,000 ringgit also. The scope is expanded to include purchase of domestic tour packages through licensed travel agents registered with the Commissioner of Tourism under the Tourism Industry Act 1992, effective for year assessment 2021 and also year assessment 2022 only. Expenses on electric vehicle (EV) charging facilities and equipment. In the current, they don't have any amount, but in the proposed, it is 2,500 ringgit. Proposed changes and effective period is expenses related to cost of installation, rental, purchase including hire purchase equipment for subscription fee for EV charging facilities or equipment. This is for year assessment 2022 and 2023 only. Additional lifestyle relief for the purchase of a smartphone, personal computer, tablet, or much more. In the current, we have 2,500 ringgit, but for the period for tax relief up to year assessment 2021, in the current, but period for tax relief is extended to year assessment 2022. This is the proposed one. Fees paid to registered childcare centers or kindergartens for child aged 6 years and below is tax relief amount 3,000 ringgit. Period for tax relief for current up to year assessment 2021. Period for tax relief proposed extended to year assessment 2023. And last but not least, contribution to deferred annuity scheme, 3,000 ringgit, including contribution to private retirement scheme up to year assessment 2021 for the period for tax relief for the current, and period for tax relief for the proposed is extended to year assessment 2025.
The purpose is to expand a more inclusive and universal social safety net to increase awareness of employee financial inclusion in Malaysia. The advantages is employee feel more secure with SOCSO because it will provide assistance to employees who are disabled by illness or accident. The effect is more workers will choose for SOCSO since it will be able to assist workers who are affected by disaster in future. The purpose is to reduce the burden on self-employed and government employees who have a pension. The advantage is self-employed citizen can do more saving. The effect is it can help person spend more money after retirement. The purpose is to encourage our people study in depth and self-improvement and to increase their employability. The advantages is everyone has the opportunity to enhance and perpetuate their career. The purpose is to make more people spend for their holidays in the country. The advantages is people will spend their money on the tourism sector in Malaysia. The effect is this will extend for expenses made will give prospect for Malaysia tourism sector. The purpose is to cost our people to purchase electric vehicle and its expenses in line with decarbonisation 2050. The advantages is to localize our people with the new era environment and to educate them that friendly or green environment is important. The effect is to enhance and improve quality life regarding health and nature environment. The purpose is to help the people, specifically students, to have access and online education and encourage people to do online business amid pandemic or lockdown. The advantages is to increase the purchasing power to buy those mentioned things have accounted as necessities. The effect is no Malaysians will be left behind, especially in terms of education as pandemic and lockdown induce our activities to do virtually. The purpose is to encourage the children's parents or guardians to send them to kindergarten so that our children can get early education. The advantages is the children will be motivated to learn and prevented from illiteration. The effect is our children will have more opportunity to gain education. As we know, certain parents or guardians do not send them to kindergarten due to life difficulties. The purpose is to ensure people are surviving in the midst of pandemic as more people do not have sufficient income to survive and jobless. The advantages is alleviate the people's burden as they do not have sufficient income. The effect is the pandemic has limiting the government's revenue. Thus, this tax relief will help more or less the economic cycle. The purpose is to reduce the people's burden because medical is an essential matter. The advantages is to encourage people to self-care and get a proper medical health checkup. The effect is to ensure people in Malaysia have more quality life.
One of the factors that caused this change in Malaysia was the spread of the COVID-19 virus disease. This is because this disease has spread throughout foreign countries and caused any country to take serious action to ensure the safety of their people. For example, Prime Minister in our country have made actions such as making it mandatory to wear a face mask when in a certain location. The second factor is that the economic movement in Malaysia is becoming slower. This change is also said to be quite drastic after January 2020. Through the graph displayed by Department of Statistics Malaysia, the unemployment rate or the number of unemployed people is increasing from January to May. This is because Malaysia has enforced the Movement Control Order, which is MCO, which requires people to restrict movement outside the home. Although the government allows to go out, not all premises are allowed to go unless there is a specific and important reason, such as emergencies and so on. In addition, only the parents are allowed to leave the house to find necessities such as food, clothes, medicine and others. When this MCO was implemented, many people lost their jobs and were laid off because their employees' company was forced to close and they could not afford to pay their employees' salaries. The last factor is a change in the trend in personal life. We as the people ourselves can see the year 2020 changed everyday living for not just Malaysians but the entire globe. In Malaysia, when the global pandemic hit most actively in March 2020, Malaysians was forced to adhere to tight guidelines to ensure the safety of themselves and their families. Everyday life routines changed. Many jobs were threatened. Many businesses were put in a position to make very challenging decisions. And those who were infected or had family or friends infected by the virus went through a painful and challenging period.
for the conclusion, as we all know that Budget 2022 has been mainly focusing on three main objectives, which are rakyat's well-being, resilient business and prosperous and sustainable economy in these challenging days. Every taxpayer should be more aware of the various tax relief available to them and take advantage of the opportunity to relieve their financial burden. The tax relief also act as catalyst during this tough day to ensure keluarga Malaysia doing fine in their daily life.